Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Sports, your daily fix for cricket, and Indian cricket at that. And today is the mother of all battles India versus Pakistan in ICC Champions Trophy 2025. And to discuss the match, midway through the match, we have a Power Pack panel. We've got the senior most guy on our panel, Avijit Da, joining us from Delhi. And then we've got Dwaipen Datta joining us from Chennai, and we have Nitin Naik, who's joining us from Mumbai. So the metro cities equally represented here on the panel. We'll start off with Avijit Da. Avijit Da, 241 Pakistan after opting to bat. What did you make of the decision to bat? And is it a par score considering the pitch?
I think it's a par score. Probably they could have done another 15, 20 runs more. But to me, it looked like a pitch where once you are set, singles are easy. If you run, if you manipulate the ball. But hard hitting and going over the top could be difficult. But for that, Pakistan bowlers have to be very intelligent with their bowling. If they rely on pace, then that could be their undoing. At the same time, from India point of view, if India take off fast, and if Rohit Sharma becomes the fire starter again, then probably we'll have an easy going. But if we lose early wickets, 240 on this pitch can be quite a difficult score to get.
Weapon, when it started, Shami was all over the shop. The first over went on forever, and it felt like a bit like 99, the World Cup game against Zimbabwe. I had a feeling that we would have that many extras, like we had 51 extras that day in 99. But thankfully, things are pulled back. What did you make of that start where Shami was struggling to control the ball, but nicely pulled back through Hardik and the spinners?
Yes, it was a like as I told you the other day also when Shami got 5 wickets, he was not actually deserving of 5 wickets. He bowled just about okay, and it was very poor batting by Bangladesh on that day. Today also it was a continuation of that, and and Pakistan was slightly better, so they were have playing him quite easily, and yes, he didn't bowl. He always when he takes the new ball, if you remember the this 2023 final, he was given the new ball and he just spread it all around, bowled a few wides, a few runs went easy, which took the pressure off Australia initially. So that problem he has with the white ball, that should have been taken into consideration. And he was again also in the 49th over, he was taken for 2 sixes, which can become very crucial at the end. Having said that, the spinners were good. Like Kuldeep was quite brilliant. Aksar was fine. Jadeja wasn't at his best, but okay. So it was uh, Pakistan from pockets of probable dominance. They could not make it count over and at least thrice or four times. I can remember that they could have pushed on, got a score around 260. Even when Nasim Shah was batting, I could not quite figure what that shot was. Like, why would you play that shot against Kuldeep Yadav? Or that run out of Haris. There is a serious lack of game awareness in this Pakistan team. Anyway, 240, I do not think, even if it is a tight contest, India can be stopped. There is enough and more depth in this Indian team to, if it becomes a tight contest, to scrape through at least.
Nitin, when those two sixes were hit of that Shami over, I was reminded of your comment the other day about Shami in the death overs. I was thinking to myself, Nitin is proving to be prophetic about Shami. Were you also thinking the same thing?
Yeah, I don't know why he bowls in the death. I really don't know. I mean, he gives that because he's such an attacking bowler and he attacks the stumps. It gives the batsman the chance to get underneath. And I think, yes, credit to him. He tried one pace on delivery and one pace off, and sadly both disappeared. Um, and he was bowling to two good hitters. So and what surprised me was Kuldeep had an extra over. Kuldeep bowled only 9 overs, so Kuldeep had an extra over, and Shami was brought back to replace Kuldeep. So I didn't quite understand. There. I mean, had Kuldeep come on there, he could have probably got Haris Rauf out, and I think that was the reason why they did not take the single of the previous ball, bowled by Harshit Rana, the last ball. So to allow Khushdil Shah the strike, and once Khushdil Shah was back on strike, I didn't understand why Shami came on to bowl that over and not Kuldeep. I thought Kuldeep could have finished his spell. Even Jadeja, I don't think bowled his full quota.
No, he did.
Yeah, so I mean, a couple of tactical errors here. Also, I think I'm a little bit worried about Shami's fitness. I think he went off the field. He had his shin looked at. Just looked out of rhythm and down on pace today. I just hope that whatever he's suffering from, it's not something serious again.
There's an interesting stat when India lost to Pakistan in the T20 World Cup in 2021 at the same venue. Shami's figures were none for 43, but they were off 4 overs. Today, again,
Hmm.
it's none for 43, but off 8 overs. So,
Hmm.
if at all there are guys who are looking at coincidences, there's one coincidence that has already emerged. But Abhijit Da, what did you make of that partnership between Saud Shakil and Rizwan? At times, it felt like they had slowed down completely. There were a lot of dot balls, or was it, according to you, a demand of the pitch and the situation of the match?
You see, in retrospect, you can say why they were slow. You know, they obviously didn't have that much of faith in the lower order. They wanted to first steady the innings because they came, when the score was about 47 for 2. That's when the second wicket fell, and they gave you a solid 100-run partnership. When Rizwan goes, that time Pakistan is 151 and only 33 overs have been played. So there is 17 overs still to go. In those 17 overs, even if you're scoring at 6 runs per hour, per over, you're finishing at 253. So 260, 270 would have been a very good score on this wicket. They maybe fell 20 runs short. But I think, they took the singles, and they did not, they hit the occasional boundaries. What was possible, what they tried to do when they tried to up the ante, then they fell. I just felt one thing that, both of them had one life that they could not benefit much out of it. India dropped 2 catches. One was dropped by Kuldeep, the other by Harshit. So these 2 dropped catches could have proved India costly, but India got away with them.
Dwepen, do you think India got away with it? The century stand, but it almost felt like something's round the corner when that stand was also on. And those two drop chances, yet again, India being sloppy on the field. So it always felt like there's a wicket around the corner when Rizwan and Saud Shakil were batting. Did you also feel the same thing?
Uh, I thought that partnership was kind of fine. Like they after losing two, we see they you had to figure that this is a 250 260 pitch. You can't go beyond that. For that, you need a kind of innings which they do, that kind of a player they do not have. So 260 is a very very good score on this pitch. So that thing probably they figured, and they were going accordingly for that. So that partnership was good, even if there were 80 dot balls in the first 20 overs and all that. But it was all planned, and they have an understanding of the Dubai conditions. What I felt disappointed with the Pakistan batting lineup was even Salman Ali Aga. Like, is, why play against the turn to Kuldeep at that stage when you can just push him for singles and then probably take on the pacers? Like, he's such a good hitter. They had pockets of dominance. They could have pushed on. There were enough and more chances for them. But this Pakistan, we knew a Pakistan team which used to be, their game awareness was 200 out of 100. And when I see this, it kind of disappoints me.
But Nitin, what do you make of the fact that Hardik Pandya played a crucial
Yeah.
role with the ball? I think that spell of Hardik Pandya will stand India in good stead if India was
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go and win this contest.
Yeah, what I was happy about was he bowled a 6 over spell. I don't know when was the last time he bowled a 6 over spell. Also, it gives the fact that he got a lot of movement because Shami could bowl only 3 overs in his first spell. I think Hardik was brought to bowl in the power play much earlier than he normally does. I think normally India divide their overs 4-4, and then Hardik and Akshar, I think they come in and bowl the remaining overs of the power play. But I think here what happened was because Hardik bowled with a ball that was only 3 overs old, he got decent movement and decent pace. So maybe in the future, maybe in conditions that are a little bit more helpful, especially England, South Africa, Australia, maybe he can even open the bowling if he continues to bowl at sharpish 130s, because his control over length was brilliant today. And I think they showed a beehive of his bowling chart, which I think was almost metronomic, and he just did not give the room to attack. He bowled the slower ones very well, and I think generally because he's also a batsman, he knows the shots that batters can play. So he bowls exactly in areas that the batsmen don't like. So I think that is where being an all-rounder kind of helps him, and I think it's great news for India if he can bowl, at this speed and with so much control.
Uh, Interesting. Avijita, the new ball bowlers, we've already spoken about the performance of Mohammad Shami. Here's a question here from Urvashi Rao for the panel. What do you make of the performance of Indian spinners? This is a question that goes out to the entire panel. All three of you can answer turn by turn, starting with you, Avijita.
Uh, but we haven't spoken about Harshit. So can I just
Yeah, we'll
speak a
start
little
off with
about?
Arshit, then we'll come to the spinners. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think Harshit, to me, he was a standout bowler for me because see, he's a newcomer. He is playing his first pressure match. Our most experienced bowler, he goes out after 3 overs. But he does not let it be. Today he bowled some deliveries which were 146, 144. He bowled 90 plus deliveries, and he also bowled 112, 108. He never let a single batsman get the better of him. He's getting the wicket of Khushdil Shah, and almost not letting a single run be scored in the last over. That also is very, very vital. So for me, I know that Hardik was the best bowler today, but for me the standout performance is of Harshit, because he's the future, and you can see that if you can trust this guy in the death over of an India-Pakistan match, and he comes off well, that's good news for Indian cricket. I think in that sense, Gautam Gambhir's gamble has paid off today. He has given his run rate, 3.9 economy rate, 3.91 is just a par below Hardik's, which is 3.87, and much better than Shami. But some of the runs that came in were of edges and all that. I think he was absolutely brilliant. The way he extracted bounce, and used that. Everything was pretty good about him today.
We'll come to the spinners question, but here's an interesting one from Tanya Suri. Dwaipenda, I'm taking the liberty to call you that. Hand on your heart. Can India chase this total down?
I think so. Even if they
Hand on your
struggle, they
heart.
And
Hand
on
on
your
your
heart.
heart.
India, even if
Not
there
following
is
the
a
protocol even now.
even if there is a stutter somewhere, I think they have the depth in the batting lineup is there. Somebody or the other will come good somewhere. A Jadeja, somebody. The India will find somebody. With 240, it's difficult to challenge India. Whatever the pitch be, it is very, very, very difficult to challenge this Indian team with 240 unless there is a collapse. I do not see a collapse of this Indian team. I doubt. I think India will manage it.
So Tanya, you have the question. He didn't put his hand on his heart, so I'm sorry for that, but he answered the question. We'll go back to that question about the spinners. Nitin first, and then we'll go to Avijita and Dwaipan as well. Nitin, that question about the spinners. What do you make of the performance of the Indian spinners? Do you think that the ploy of having these three left armers, all of different variety, has it worked well for India?
Yeah, and also that the fact that both Akshar and Jadeja give you so much control. I mean, yeah, I mean there'll be the odd over which will go for runs. One a couple of sixes or a boundary or a couple here and there with reverse sweeps attempted and scoops over the keeper's head. But then I think they give the captain so much control. I mean, you will very rarely see them have a bad day altogether. I don't think all three of them. I don't think they had a bad day as such. They maybe just if at all, I think Jadeja, if you can say that he maybe had a bit of a off day, but I think Kuldeep and Akshar were absolutely brilliant.
Abhijita, what did you make of the spinners?
You see, I thought that they lacked bite initially. Between the ninth over and the 33rd over, we haven't got any wickets. That a huge chunk of that time the spinners were bowling. They started getting wickets only when they started to try to hit out. So they initially did not get wickets while the batsmen were defending. So that shows a lack of incisiveness. But having said that, Kuldeep was the best of the lot. He got 3 good wickets, and he was a little unlucky today because he could have got 2 more wickets, but for the DRS call. He would have got South Shakil earlier, but that call wasn't given, and another wicket also he missed out. Kuldeep was definitely the best of the lot, and I think since in the earlier series against England, he was not among wickets, this performance will give him a lot of confidence, and that is good news for the Indian team as a whole. And as far as Akshar is concerned, we find a new level of confidence in what he is doing. His catching, his throwing. He got us not only 1 wicket by his bowling, but also 1 by his fielding. So Akshar is making a huge difference to this team. His presence, he is actually the all-purpose kind of a player, batting, bowling, fielding. So somehow he is actually, in a sense, right now in some in every match you're looking for a talismanic moment. He's giving you that talismanic moment.
Interesting. Dwaipan, 2 questions to you. One is about the spinners. The other is there's a question from a guy called Akshay Vinagam. He's saying, what kind of pitch was this? Will it affect India's batting when they come out to chase?
First is about the spinners. Okay, so
Yeah.
spinners, we have already discussed it more or less. What I think is like this. Now that the 5th fielder is allowed outside the circle after 40 overs, that has brought the spinners back into the game in the slog overs. And on a pitch like this, Kuldeep looks very incisive when he's bowling at the death. Because people sometimes are not reading him from his hand, trying to play against the turn, and he's getting the wicket. So teams are trying to probably play them out, kind of like not taking the risk in the middle overs. But now that extra fielder is allowed, suddenly spinners have become a wicket taking option post 40 overs, and Kuldeep is reaping the rewards of that. It's a good sign. It's a good sign for the Indian team. That's one. And what kind of pitch was? Yeah, it is slightly on the slower side. It reminds me of the 2011 Mohali pitch. India got 216 on that pitch, and the 2011 semi-final on that pitch and won. Pakistan at 20 short, and Indian batting is, I think, good enough. They should manage it.
I think if you look closely, Misbah is still batting in that semi-final. So that is still going on somewhere. But Nitin, to you now. There's a question again about from Saurav Nirala. He says, do you think this pitch behaved similar to that of the previous match, or is it better?
I think this is a slightly better play. I think this is slightly quicker than the one that they played on against Bangladesh. I think what might have happened here is that the groundsman, I think, got 2 days to probably work on it, maybe water it, roll it. I mean, these are not really like those Sharjah pitches where those were real roads. I mean, you could almost, when those games were televised, you could see players' reflection on it. They were like the shisha pitches, as they call in North India and in Pakistan, which where uh, you know those are absolute roads where I think the one in Lahore yesterday was like that. But here, I think what happens is the groundsman, I think, probably got 2 more days to work on it, and now I think for New Zealand, I think maybe he might produce a better wicket. But I think for compared to the one that India played on against Bangladesh, I think this is a better pitch.
Uh, Abhijit, who's the key for India? There's a question also from sports fan. Who's the key for India in the chase? Is it again Shubman Gill, or would you look to the captain to set the tone?
That would be the ideal situation for India if Rohit sets the tone. See, if Rohit sets the tone, generally he kind of decides, the outcome of the match. If he sets the tone, if he bats for about 10-15 overs, the the 2023 World Cup final was a very rare situation where he set the tone, and then the middle order, sort of went into a shell. I don't see the middle order full of confidence. Although they have scored a lot of runs on easier tracks, but this is an Indo-Pakistan match, and this will be a test of temperament. This will be a test of nerves, and so if Rohit bats well, we should be through. But if Rohit uh, doesn't bat well, we will be in a bit of trouble. And another thing, we know that Virat generally is a big match player, and especially he has been the guy who has troubled Pakistan most in matches like these, and he hasn't been among runs, of late. So, probably he will put mind to a matter in this game and produce that something special under pressure. So I feel in that sense, this is going to be a very, very important innings in Virat's career, late career.
Dwaipan, people are already India's chase has started. It's two without loss. Rohit is off the mark, and there's a wide as well. Shaheen Afridi has started proceedings for Pakistan with the new ball. The fans are already looking ahead to the next game, and this question about Arshdeep Singh, because uh, there's something about Arshdeep Singh that successive team management seem to look at him purely in the T20 scheme of things. And you saw with Rohit and Dravid, and now Rohit and Gambhir as well, purely looking at him in the T20 format more than in the other two formats. Do you see a place for him? Suppose India wins today. Let's hope India wins today. Then in the next game against New Zealand, which is a lesser pressure game now, if India wins the game today, Arshdeep comes in place of Shami because he gets a longer break then before the semi-final.
Yes, and the thing about Arshdeep is that Arshdeep is constantly improving. You can give the Dravid regime the benefit of doubt because at that point of time he was still slightly untested in 50 over format. By now we know that he is good in 50 overs also. So yes, if India wins this game, I think uh, you can't drop a bowler who has taken 5 wickets in the earlier game. So it cannot be dropped. But then Shami wasn't 100%, and it's 6 days to go. I don't know actually, because whether they will at all change the winning combination. If they win this one, then the semi-final final. But yeah, but the semi-final is with a day to after the third match. There is only 1 day gap, and then the semi-final. So yes, maybe yeah. Why not? Give Shami a break and play Arshdeep.
Nitin, not to look too far ahead, but still the same question to you about Arshdeep Singh.
Hmm.
Uh, where do you think? Why do you think successive team think tanks now have looked at him purely from the T20 prism and not, say, in the 50 over format?
Just maybe trust issues, I guess. Although I think he got a brilliant 5-4 in South Africa. I think in the third one day, which was the team that was captained by KL Rahul. I think he can give
He
you
was
early
uh, Nitin. He was also the player of the series in that
in that series. Yeah, yeah. So
series.
so
Yeah.
so I mean, there you have it. I mean, maybe they feel that on such pitches, maybe he Harshit Rana would be a more preferred choice because of maybe he has greater variations. But I think his death bowling as well as his ability to strike early with the new ball is unparalleled. So I think it will be India's loss if we keep delaying his re-entry into one day cricket.
Interesting. Avijit Da, yes or no answer. Can
Yeah,
India
my
chase this? Yeah, go on,
yeah,
go on.
sorry.
No, no, go
I
on.
thought about the Arshdeep thing. I feel that whoever is going to play in the semi-final should play the match also against New Zealand.
Interesting. So,
Yeah,
looking at the conditions and everything, can India chase this total down?
I'd give Pakistan 55% chance, India 45%.
Oh, that's a big call. Dwepan, what's your take? Can India chase this total down?
I think so. I think so. Shreyas Iyer, Akshar Patel, these guys are they have the kind of temperament to tide through these difficult periods. So there is enough and more depth to win this game.
Nitin, what's your take?
Yeah, I think if they would have had a spinner or a spin attack like India's, maybe then they could have got a decent chance. Had India been defending 240, I think I would have given India a chance. But I think here I would say 60-40 India.
Interesting. Who's the crucial one according to you, Abhijit Da, with the ball for Pakistan? There's a comment here that Naseem will be crucial. What is your take? Who's the crucial one?
Shaheen Shafridi.
Interesting. Dwepan, what's your take?
Khuzdil, left arm spin, left arm finger spin. That becomes crucial if Dew doesn't come in on these pitches.
He himself is confused how he got into the squad. Uh, and now you have rated him as one of the crucial ones.
Hmm.
So the Pakistan
Because
select.
left arm spin. If the bowler bowls well, it becomes very important when a pitch is slow. Uh, Fastish left arm spin on conducive pitches. If he's bowling decently, that is. If he bowls half trackers, then it's a different game.
What about you, Nitin? Who's the crucial one?
I think Naseem Shah. Naseem Shah because he bowls with he bowls with a lot of control, and he has that outswinger which troubles the top Indian batters. So I think if Naseem strikes early, then I think we can have a match. But I think if India can negotiate the first 10 overs for maybe just one wicket down, I think we can win this game.
Okay, on that positive note, thanks a lot, the three of you. I will not keep you waiting for long because we've got the chase, which is well and truly on. Thanks a lot for joining us here on TOI
Thank you.
Sports. We'll be back again tomorrow with yet another show, probably reviewing an Indian win if that happens. And we'll look ahead as well in the tournament. To everybody watching this show on all the platforms, please keep liking, sharing, subscribing the platforms wherever you're watching, and do not, if you're on YouTube, do not forget to press the notification bell. Thanks a lot. That's it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow to look back at this India Pakistan contest. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.